So, we're back with part 2, y'all.
What's up? What's up?
We're back. So, Sydney, we have some more questions that we would like to ask you.
Let's go with it.
So, I can go first. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you do you.
Oh, wait. First, y'all, make sure y'all follow Mind, Body, and Soul Podcast on Instagram. Okay? The name is Mind, Body, Soul Podcast _
One
underscore.
One underscore.
Okay? And then also, before we keep going, Sydney, what's your Instagram and all that, where people can find you?
You can follow me personally at the Sydney Alexandria, or you can follow the Breathe Lounge at the Breathe Lounge.
Where they're breathing at. Just to let y'all know. I think that's really important to the how you talk to yourself, because it's so easy too, man. Because you don't really think about it, like especially just like people like just simple stuff like, oh man, I don't feel like going to work, and you get them. Everybody, this quote now that everybody says, I get to go to work. Just switch.
Just switching, because words have vibrations too.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I have to is a lower vibrational word than I get to. Like just how it sounds. It just sounds more uplifting.
And even in the book, Project 369, we was, like I read today, like about just saying I am. Like if you say, like, I'm going to be, is pretty much saying that where you're trying to go don't exist. But like you're saying I am, is already claiming what you are. Even if you if I say I am a gym owner, like I might not be there right now, but I'm claiming that already, so it's already going to happen.
You're putting out in the universe, and you're also training your brain to start to, like think that way. It's almost like trick. Affirmations are a great way to like kind of trick your brain. And like reverse psychology on yourself. Because a lot of times we have these like self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah, we do.
So affirmations, it's like, okay, this is how I feel, but this is how I want to feel.
And
so affirmations help you transition.
And just from the, like how we're conditioned a lot of times to way to think, even like we talked about religion and different things, like even finances, like how we're conditioned, like finance. They tell you, oh, go get a credit card, and everybody's they F their credit up because their credit, they're overpaying on their credit card, or like even religious stuff, like following these rules. They're saying you got to do this and do that to make it to this heaven or whatever. Like we're just so conditioned.
Even to just saying like I'm a sinner. How low vibrational does that sound? I get it. No one's perfect, but that sounds better. I've made some mistakes, or I'm striving to be better. Or I've gone through some things and I've learned some lessons. I'm on a journey sounds way better than saying like I'm a sinner, or it's just a lot of words that we use. We're just switching vocabulary.
And we're gonna say this: don't be delusional on your chakras or how you think. Like, cause simply you'd be like every 300 pounds, and they're talking about, well, yeah, I'm skinny. No, don't. If you don't work out, like, it's the work that goes into it too. So don't be fooled, like. That I'm gonna just say stuff and it's not working. No, you gotta put the work in behind it. You have to put in
the work behind it. Yeah.
I do think like sometimes, just kind of like speaking from existence. Sometimes you can like start speaking affirmations before you actually start to move, because your mind may be, you may be thinking about it, and maybe like your mind may be processing it, but actions haven't.
But the constantly or continuously saying it, but that goes back to like the tricking your mind a little bit, like because sometimes you don't feel loved. You can go through a divorce and you feel like like hopeless or whatever, and that is a actual emotion that you're feeling. But by affirming yourself, like I am loved, people do love me, like I am worthy, like those type of affirmations. It'll help you start feeling like that, and then you'll start attracting people and things around you, based off of those affirmations. But if you're saying like, don't nobody love me, it's hard out here in these streets, it's hard to find somebody, like it's gonna be hard to find somebody.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what's some of your favorite affirmations?
My favorite affirmation is everything is always working out for me. Even when it seems like it's not, even when it's not, even when it look like it's not, everything is always working out for me. That's like my favorite.
I like that.
one.
Yeah,
everything is always working out for me.
Because sometimes things happen, right? And it's like, it seems like it's a negative situation, but there's always, if you really believe that like everything is always working for me, God will use everything to my good, then it's like even this horrible traumatic situation, or this getting laid off of this job, or this breakup, like this for my good, because something is better for me. So
especially if you did everything you could to like make things work. Like not just being a a jerk to people, or you know what I'm saying, like actually like, okay, in this relationship I tried my best to be the best partner I can be, or you know, and sometimes we don't, and sometimes that's why the relationship fails, you know, but we have an opportunity to be better in the next situation. We learn from that. So like, no matter if you tried or you felt like you could have did better, that next situation is always going to be better because like you done learn from that. Now I've grown, so now I know how to handle certain situations. So like,
whenever someone that I know gets like laid off from a job, or like, you know, something happens with work, I'm always like, it's okay. That door was closed for a reason. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, like, you know, those no's are the very same things that set us up for a yes that would be, like, bigger than we could have imagined. And it's like, if I didn't get laid off, or if I didn't get divorced, or if I didn't, you know, lose whatever, I would have never got, you know, what I have now.
It's like those unanswered prayers are actually answered.
The answered prayers, Mm-hmm.
And I tell Jesus, like, you know, even like when we do ask for things from God or whatever, you know, it's just, people can understand that it's not going to go how you think it's going to go all the time. Or sometimes the things that you do pray for, sometimes we get the answer that we thought it was going to be a different answer.
And a lot of times we're not in alignment with the things that we want, and we're not being realistic with ourselves. So it's like, you say you want this house or this job, but then it's like, look at your daily habits.
Yeah.
What are you doing that's really going to align with those prayers? Like, you're asking for something that you're not even in alignment with, and you're not even trying to be in alignment with.
And that's where you're going back to, you know, having that conversation with yourself. Like, and that's what people don't want to do.
Like what you said with weight. You want to lose weight. Yeah. But you still going to Popeyes. You have not changed your diet at all.
Lose weight soon.
You know?
Let me get number 32.
That 3-piece with the red beans and rice.
Nah. Let me get a 24-piece. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3. Make it a 32.
You know, like, for real.
I think that's for sure a lot of people's like issues when they're trying to like get to one point to the next point in their lives.
Yeah, the actions are not lining up. Like, you want a business, but you haven't even written anything down, no business plan. Like, a lot of people I know, they say like, oh, I want to go to school for business, or what you want to do with that? I don't know. So like,
what's the point?
What's the, you know, so it's like, it's very important that like we have these things that we want to manifest, but the action and the plan to get there is so important.
That's true. The action and the plan to get there. I don't think you're just going to be manifesting stuff and like it's just like this magic thing that's going to happen and things just appear. Nah, you got to, when people are this successful, they put the work in behind it.
And the plan, honestly, the plan is almost more important than the action. Because sometimes we have the action, but we're doing things that are not really as beneficial.
And we can bring that stuff, we can bring that to relationships too as well. Because people, you know, it's crazy. People like, they'll put in work for a job, you know, start their own business or, you know, make it in the corporate world, whatever, you know, to get money. But like when it comes to relationships, they have no plan on how they're going to make that relationship successful. Exactly. They don't put the same effort in. They don't plan out, okay, well, I want this type of person, or if I want whatever, like, no one, I got to allow myself to be that. And then I have to put in the work to have a successful relationship. You know, I have to, if you're a man, I have to pursue to a certain degree, and for a woman, I have to show, I have to show my desirability, you know, and not, you know, not showing whatever on the internet. Look at you. Cause
why? Go ahead.
Because I remember you had a conversation one time, and you was like, oh, well, let's be partner, man.
What did I say? Was that it?
He said a few other things, I just can't remember. I just wanted to look at you when you...
No, that wasn't the context of the...
Oh.
That wasn't it.
But a lot of people do say... Well, even like when it comes to relationships, though, a lot of people say that they want a man that has all this money and all this value.
But what do you...
But and not even saying you have to have the money value, but like, you don't even value yourself. You have no self-love, but you want... And even just on a simple level, we want love from others, but we don't love ourselves. I think I posted on my page today that like, the way you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. And so it's like, you mad at this person because they treating you wrong, but like, you talk negative to yourself. You don't have no confidence. Like, you don't uplift yourself. You don't empower yourself.
Law of attraction.
You know, so it's like, how can you expect someone else with like, look how you treat yourself? You know?
Exactly.
Right.
Energy is very powerful, man. Like,
and that's what I was telling you the other day, man. Like, you thought it was crazy because you were like, man, you don't be doing it. But man, I'm telling you, man, energy is the most powerful form, especially when it comes to, you know, being in the presence of feminine. When you're a masculine man and you're in the presence of a feminine, you know, a woman that's fully flourishing in her feminine energy, she can sense your energy if you're not in your masculine brain. automatically. Am I wrong?
No, it's true.
Am I wrong?
No, I ain't saying you wrong. No.
What's funny?
No, I ain't saying you wrong. No, I was remembering our conversation, and I was just thinking about it when you said it. But when you talked about like, because you said it in a different way though. You were saying that women, you know, it was something else they was sensing. You can say.
I said women can sense when you're off as a man, like when you're not in your masculine.
And I said you give women too much credit.
That's true. It's just it's not the women. It's the energy.
I just feel like women. And
I think it's the type of.
Yeah. Well, I just feel.
No, I'm agreeing because it's the type.
Come on, what you got to say?
Well, I just say like women, like, because he talking about kind of like women's intuition, like you know, picking the right mate. You know, and
we are not always the best judges.
Definitely, and that's all I was saying.
Okay,
I said we give.
I
said you give women too much
But it goes
credit.
back to the self-love thing though, and just the self-awareness, because a lot of times like we don't do a great job of picking a partner because at where we're at in life and what we need. So like a lot of women who have daddy issues, they go out and they seek these men that, you know, may be in their masculine, but like, are they really? You know, that's kind of like the persona that they put on, and they attracting that, but like deep down, a lot of times it's like they don't really embody that.
So I have a question. When we're talking about masculine and feminine energy, have you ever read the book The Way of the Superior Man by David D?
No.
So he talks about feminine and masculine energy. And he talks about how, like, right now, like, there's been, like, the polarity swap going on where, like, there's more, you know, women in their masculine energy.
Yeah. I agree. A lot of men now are giving very sassy, very princess,
I knew she was gonna say
very, you know, very sassy.
Why
and a lot of women are giving very strong, very manly. So
see,
it is definitely
This
that.
is the point that David makes in the book. The swap, the swap was supposed to happen regardless. The polarity swap that we've been experiencing, it was supposed to happen. I think it was supposed to happen because for so long we misunderstand each other. And I think the only way to kind of understand, which all of us have that piece of, you know.
It's really the duality. Like, we are all feminine and masculine.
Right.
And we all embody that
Right.
feminine and masculine energy. And a lot of times we just are not tapped in, and like, you know, some women.
It's like crossing rims. We don't know. Like, you crossing a rim into a feminine energy, and you stuck there. When you're not supposed to be stuck there, it's supposed to be for you to go and get some type of training on how I can treat my woman, how I can understand her when she's in her emotional state, how I can be calm enough to say, okay, baby, what you need? What do you need, like, as far as communication-wise, you know, spiritual-wise? How can I help you in those areas? And the only way to get there is to understand
to be
her.
in tune with that.
Yeah, you got to be in tune in that, but still live in your masculine energy.
I agree with that.
But
We know.
I feel
That
a butt
requires
coming.
some type of sensitivity.
No, I agree with that. I feel like, and so like when women get into their masculine, why do they need to be in their masculine? Since we all need to kind of like train ourselves on each one. So like, what's the purpose of women being in their masculine?
I think it's the strength. I mean, for me, it's the strength part. Now, I operate in my feminine energy, and I think any man that I'm with I'm not gonna bring out that masculine. I mean, it's not. But at the same time, the strength, and also like, you know, being a provider may not be like financially, but you know, you know, but just seriously though, like I think that it's important to be able to operate in both. But for me, the masculine energy is just like strong and like confident and secure, and I am that. Like the business side of me, I feel like that is definitely more of like, I operate more in my masculine energy, like dealing with people and just like with money and like finances, because that's just kind of like the man, like traditionally is the provider, you know. So,
I think
the worker,
to be honest,
the boss.
I think people need to, you know, we've been having this conversation for a few years now. Ever since I think like COVID, when it really started getting popular, but I think we really need to stop having this conversation about like, you know, who's leading the relationship, and because like you know, in the real world, I always say, in the real world where real people exist, you know, it just depends on your relationship, because it's all about balance. I feel when you're trying to pick a mate.
Yeah, like I was a housewife. My ex-husband, he was very financially secure, and I was really good with that. But emotionally, I carried the relationship, so I didn't pay bills. But through his mental illness, I was there, you know, through taking care of the kids, you know, like I was there. So where I didn't necessarily pull my weight in the finances, I pulled my weight spiritually and like emotionally for the family. So I think that it definitely is like,
everyone has a role.
Everyone has a role, and I think where we get messed up is when we put so much, and even with black men, I feel like we put a lot on you all to just be like the provider and think that you are so strong without checking into like the emotional side and like the spiritual side, and like, you know, that's important. I think that's why a lot of black men suffer with a lot of mental health challenges, because we focus more on them getting money and being a boss and getting it in, but like the traumas and the emotions and like the feelings, y'all got feelings too. I say all the time, men are a lot more sensitive and emotional than women. Y'all just don't show it.
Y'all, man.
Case in point.
And that's why I'm
and
saying,
on women, I feel bad that we don't always check in on y'all, like, you know, and y'all do deserve flowers too. Y'all do deserve like back rub, you know, to be catered to as well, you know, like
we big, like I like to say, I'm a big teddy bear. So like I like to be rubbed.
Yeah.
I like my head rubbed. Like I like my back rubbed. I like that.
Y'all deserve that.
read me a book.
Y'all deserve
I
that.
don't know about
Yeah.
reading a book, but
We could paint together, color together. Like I feel like men should be empowered to operate in their soft side. I don't even think it's soft though.
Yeah,
I hate that we even say that it's not
That's
soft.
what I'm saying though. Like that's the
Like coloring, doing yoga, getting massages,
yoga,
doing facial. You know, that's not soft.
That's being tapped in.
Yeah, you just in
understanding hey,
tone.
look, like we all have a piece of what they have, and they have a piece of us. You know what I mean? So
we all, like we said, we all one, man.
Yeah.
balance of it.
We all one.
No, and it's just like in your relationship, you have to choose as a person. Do I want a man that's operating more in his feminine energy or more in his masculine, or someone that's more balanced?
And the same
For
thing
me,
same
I
thing for
prefer
men.
someone that is for sure balanced, but maybe even a little bit more, you know. I like a little
even for men, like,
All
I
right.
was stuck in my little feminine realm. When I started reading that book, it had me stuck in that realm, and I don't like it.
But a lot
I
of
like to balance more on the masculine side.
what do you mean? You're feminine, where you just like more emotional, or like
Yeah, like I like when I started, you know, doing all those chakras, realizing, you know, the chakras that I'm on, that really kind of like brought out a lot of emotions. Yeah, and then so like it would be times where like I just be chilling and all of a sudden start crying.
You
and
need
I'm like,
that.
yo,
That's good.
whoa.
Because like think about how many years like you spent keeping it pinned up. Like like when little boys, especially little black boys, cry, they could be gushing blood. Stop crying. Like what? That's crazy. You know, like they deserve that.
Hey, what?
Yeah. So you've been conditioned for so many years to not be in tune with your emotional side. That's the great thing about when men do breath work or when men start journaling, that they're able to really tap into like a lot of those emotions that they were like conditioned to suppress.
Yeah.
Do you like crying? Do you like crying?
Yeah. What do you feel about crying?
You two made me think about
He
it.
said, like,
No, I ain't got nothing
cry
against.
every time I pray.
I ain't got nothing against crying.
when was the last time you cried?
Yesterday when I punched you.
This is definitely a safe space.
That's my cry. I don't know. Wait a minute.
Do you feel like you have traumas from your childhood or adulthood that like you haven't necessarily dealt with or talked about even or shared with anybody?
Yeah, no. I've been through a traumatic car accident when I was young, and I think I didn't get any therapy for that. So like at one point in my life when I was a kid, I used to have this huge anxiety of death, and I used to picture like, and I had like these dreams of like myself in a casket and I couldn't get out, like. And I haven't talked to anybody about that, and I think like I suffered with that as a kid, and
How do you feel like it shows up in you now since you haven't really just dealt with it?
well, the way I show up and I try to, you know, take every moment that I have with people, and I try to like, you know, make the best of it, just because, you know, just that near-death experience, I'd say, because my pops he definitely could have died. You know, I could have died in that car accident. It was like, you know, it was bad because, you know, when they start bringing the helicopters, you know that, it was bad. Yeah, so, you know, I never, like I say, you know, normally a kid that goes through a traumatic experience like that, they'll talk to a therapist or something, and we didn't, you know, probably didn't have the money.
Like,
you know,
doing it back then.
Do you still feel like sometimes you operate in fear, or do you feel like you've kind of,
I still feel sometimes I operate in fear. Sometimes I try to, I get anxiety, you know. That's why I'm into the breath work now and praying, and you know. So yeah, I'm working on myself.
Yeah, well, like the holistic therapy that we were talking about are like great tools to like help with, like fear and like anxiety or trauma or like really anything. But like especially those moments where you start feeling like anxiety, like just connecting with your breath. Like you would be surprised at how you can go from like thinking so negative or so fearful or whatever to like being like, oh, shit, I can do this. Like breath work and affirmations are like my number one, I feel like, cure for like anxiety and like a lot of fears, because it's like I am alive, like I'm safe.
Yeah. But
yeah, thanks for sharing and being vulnerable with us.
Yes. Yeah, that's the first time I actually really, not saying the first time, but I don't really speak on that a lot. Okay, thank you.
He knows your life.
Yeah, I don't really speak on that a lot.
I was gonna say, man, just kind of like.
Question still for you too.
What?
Don't try to avoid it.
What?
Yeah, you too. When was the last time you cried?
I'm open. Yesterday, today. Yeah.
What did you cry about?
When I was praying, I always so lately, like before I go into prayer, which is weird, 222. Before I go into prayer, before I go into prayer, I've been like boo-mooing. I don't understand why, but I think it's because like it's more of I'm gaining more intimate relationship with God, and it's like, I need you right now, and I love you. So it's like I'm gonna cry, before I talk to you. More like showing like, this is me kind of expressing what my heart is. And so like even like during prayer, like I can just kind of be, get the chills and then like. Not like a full-on cry, but like, your eyes will water up. Yeah. Just being aware of what's going on inside, you know what I'm saying? And fully embracing it.
Living in the present moment. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to really focus on, just living in the present. Because like, that's when you start getting a lot of anxiety. We start thinking about the future.
You're thinking about something that haven't even happened. That's what anxiety literally is, thinking about a future thing.
So just being in the present moment, man. Wherever you at that present moment, that's where you're supposed to be. Like you were supposed to come today because you made it here. You know what I'm saying? So just being in the present moment. But y'all, we got to wrap it up. I really like this conversation. I really like you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sydney, we like you.
No,
we like you here.
You
need to come back.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Anytime y'all invite me, I'm here.
But we're going ahead and wrap it. Shout out to the judge again, man. Come on now. We got to give a shout out to the judge.
Shout out to the judge.
She the reason why we...
Since we don't have no hand claps, everybody just...
Everybody just right here, man. She the reason why we up and rolling like this. Appreciate you, the judge.
Appreciate you.
You're a real one.
Appreciate you.
I don't care what D be saying about it.
Really quick, shout out to Taylor Brand Clothing. My boy Paul hooked me up with this nice shirt that says, follow God, not man. Make sure y'all go check him out. He is at the International Marketplace on Greens Road. Go check my boy out, man. Follow him on Instagram too at Taylor Brand Clothing. Yes, sir.
Taylor Brand Clothing.
That's that T-Made, Taylor Made. He already know what's up. We're gonna have him on the podcast soon. He don't know yet.
Yeah. He
don't know it yet.
He's speaking
Coming
to
soon.
existence.
You gotta speak it.
It's loading. But all right, y'all. Mind, body, and soul.
Like,
subscribe, comment, and we out.
Peace.